off. I think. Are we off, little kitty? I think we are. Day 264. God, I hope it's day 264. Yeah. Day 264 of the year of streaming and learning to code. We are continuing on at Code Wars. Yeah, that's right. We have broken free from our free code camp. Stop. Cat, what are you doing? You're wandering. You're wandering aimlessly. No? You don't know what you want? Okay. Well, while you figure that out, we get to find... No rolling on the keyboard. Hey, no. We haven't even gotten into a CADA yet. No, destroying the stream before it even starts. We are on the hunt for a new CADA. Today's lesson, level 6. No, we've already missed a step, Cat. It's supposed to be most completed and then level 6. And then fundamentals. Yeah. I can't see when you're standing in front of the monitor. These are facts. These are facts. You're actually blocking the whole selection area right now. Just on the third side, I can see titles. But your legs and hindquarters are blocking the filter options. Just anytime you're ready to move out of the way. Will you shimmy? Look. What's this? Fingers. Yep. I believe in you. Haha, I can see. Yeah, out of the way, Cat. I tricked you. Fundamentals. We've got... Oh my god, and you're highlighting. You're highlighting with your foot. You are highlighting. You are a destructive highlighter. No. Ugh. Dear God. Okay. I think she's finally gotten the hint. Yep, well, I've been wrong about many things, so of course I'd be wrong about that. Stop hunting my Look, I will scratch you. Can I at least get the instructions first? Oh my god, Cat. You're gonna give me a brain aneurysm. Pfft. Or a hairball. Pfft. Ugh. Pfft. So much fur on my tongue. You're like the furry version of Hurricane Irma. Please move. You are a Category 6. Get it? Cat? Category? That was a cat joke. You're so small and furry. I love you so much, tiny cat. More importantly, let's finally just get into the CADA. Focus. So we've got a couple holes in our level 6 journey. We're not dealing with cubes. I think we're going to tackle this one because we're at 92%, so I think the next 2 to 3 CADAs we should be through level 6. So I'm trying to patch all the holes simultaneously as we finish out the level 6 here at, what's it called? Code Wars. Yeah, something about that. Alright, are they the same, in quotes? Maybe. Given two arrays, A and B, write a function, comp A, B, comp same, A, B, enclosure, that checks whether the two arrays have the same elements with the same multiplicities. Same means here that the elements in B are the elements in A squared regardless of the order. Examples, valid arrays. A, 121, 144, 19, 161, 19, 144, 19, 11. So, some duplicates. Order really doesn't matter, but nevertheless, these need to all be squares of the stuff in here. So 11 squared, 11 times 11 would be 121. 19, I believe. 19 times 19 is 361, and so forth and such from there. So that all checks out. Comp AB returns true because B, 121 is the square of 11, 14,641 is the square of 121, 20,736 is the square of 144, 361 is the square of 19, 25,000 blah is square of 161, and so on. It gets obvious if we write B's elements in the terms of squares. So, same grouping, same array for A, initial values and totals, product, if you will, is the same, but this is the breakdown. So 11 times 11, 121 times 121, 144 times 144, blah, blah, and blah. Beautiful. So, invalid arrays. If we change the first number to something else, comp may not return true anymore. Okay. 121, 144, blah, blah, blah. Same array is up here. The difference is with B, we have a 132, a stray that does not belong. One of these is not like the others, therefore the party's ruined. Damn it. Ruined. Comp AB returns false because B, 132, is not the square of any number of A. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, comp B. Wait, what's the issue with this one? Comp B returns false because B, 36,100, is not the square of any number A. Alright, so, some remarks. A or B might be empty. All languages except R and Shell, A or B might be nil or null or none, except in Haskell, Elixir, C++, Rust, R, and Shell. If A or B are nil or null or none, the problem doesn't make sense, so return false. If A or B are empty, the result is evident by itself. I guess that means still false. Same kind of thing here. Note for C, doesn't apply to us, but might as well read it anyways. The two arrays have the same size, greater than 0, given as a parameter in function comp. Okay, well, that was just hellish, so let's do this. Day 264. Yet another furry and confusing start. Interesting how those two adjectives frequent our stream so consistently. What are we doing now? We're just diving into it. That's what's happening. Function comp array 1 compared to array 2. A1 and A2. Test A1, A2 true. So they want us to return true or false, I assume. Yeah. Your code here. If I was an array and I needed to compare something to another, something blank, if blah else stuff and such, something or other, right? Probably return false, I would assume. Just as a general shot in the dark. Turn true. Maybe it's easier than we think it is. It seems straightforward. All I'm checking for is if all of the values in A have their squared values in B. So Do I need to loop through them? Should I loop through them? I'm trying to think if I actually need to do a for loop, or if there's some clever thing that I can use, like for each, or every, or some other method that I could utilize in this situation. Because I really want to turn it into this. If A1... No, if A2... I guess there should be a for loop. Maybe it needs to be 2 for loops. For A and for B... If for A is equivalent to for B, blah, blah, and blah. Return true, return false. Again, I can see it in my head. I just don't know what methods or how to nest the damn. Let's just double check. The other thing that bothers me is there's 3 different versions of the parameters, which is driving me crazy. It probably shouldn't be, but it's making my mind hurt. Here, the arrays are A and B, all right? Here, they're array 1 and array 2 fully spelled out. But down here in the test cases, it's A1 and A2 not spelled out. Just saying. Doesn't make Steven feel all that comfortable. I would like them to all be the same thing across. I don't have a preference over A, B, A1, A2, or array 1, array 2. But if they could all follow the same beat, that would be super freaking awesome. We were checking to see if an array... If an array what? If an array has a value. That sounds so generic. Key value pairs? No, not key value pairs. JavaScript. Check if an array has... Oh, has property. Has a value. Contains a value. Yeah. Beautiful. Includes. Damn straight includes. MDN. Go time. True and false. Oh my god. Yes. This is what we wanted. You see that, tiny cat? Yeah, you're busy sucking on your toes. Typical. The includes method determines whether an array includes a certain element, returning true or false as appropriate. Oh my god, this is best Thursday ever. Wait, is it Thursday? Yeah, it's Thursday. It's Thursday. Array includes blah, something about assert, a from index, and blank, blank, blank. Cool. So there's a 2 involved, and that returns true. There's a 4, and a blank, and a blah, and a blah. Spectacular, spectacular. So, let's see. Steven wants to check. We're going to go through all of A, and we're going to, in our if statement, yes, good. Filter, maybe? No. It's okay. One method is enough. I'm sure there's a way to do, like, filter and blah, 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 and all that good stuff, but we're not interested in that. What we want to do, basic and straightforward. That's what's going to be on my tombstone. Or furry and confused. One of those. Both would be totally fine with me. For Sack of death. Focus, Steven. Focus. Focus. We were gonna do something. The if statement should be in the for loop. Not important. Just start typing shit. Oh god. Oh god. I mean, a little effort would be nice. For array for variable I equals. Oh, can I use a for in? A for in loop for variables in. I bet I could. Although I don't know if I really want to. Again, the way I see it is with a regular for loop, not a for in loop. It would work just the same. It'd be totally fine. We're going to do it with a regular for loop. We may change it to a for in loop later. Just because we'll see if we can. So, variable I equals 0. I less than array 1 dot length I plus plus. Continuing on to... We want to take that and do something with it. Array 1I for if hold on, why is that so interesting? There's this, and you, and that. One of these. Do we need return true and return false in here? My concern is that we're inside the for loop, and I think that's going to piss some people off, won't it? If blah 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 return blank else. Maybe having it inside an if makes the returns okay. Let's keep forging ahead. For blah blah blah. If array 2 includes array do we need to do... Yeah. You know what we can do is array... Crap. See, array 1I. But I don't know if I can do array 1I times I. Or if I need to do array I times array 1I. I don't know why I'm trying to do 8 or an asterisk. I think I'm totally losing it. This feels mostly wrong, so let's go ahead and run it, and, yeah, let's hope for the best. What the green? Little kitty, something's wrong. Someone's messing with us. Maybe we broke it? Why did we pass? Why would I be that successful out of the gates? Something's wrong. That was only the initial sample test, so there's all the random ones. Let's see where we fail on the official attempts. Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. All of this, all of the sadness, that's what we're looking for. So, what did we get wrong? Expected false and got true. Aha, but it does return false on occasion, which is somewhat accurate, so we do need to tweak it, and this is what I think it has to do with the ones that were mentioned in the remarks section, like when it's empty. Because in my mind, if it was empty, if A was empty and if B was empty, then I guess both are the same. It's the same value in A and the same value in B, null and null. I'd count that as true, but they want it to count as false. So we might need an else if. But let's see what we've got. So output something or other. Expected blank, blah. Random tests. 1. Testing blank, blank, blank. It should work with random inputs too. Expected false, but it got true. See, I don't know why it would return true if it's expecting false. Think it through, Steven. Think it through. You know what we should be checking? It's not checking if array 2 includes the values of I. It's if there's any values in array 2 that aren't the square root of array 1. So what does that mean? Okay. Yeah, of course it wasn't going to be quick. I knew there was no way in hell we were going to pull that off that quickly. So it's, are there any... Where's our nonsense area? Okay, so we've got our nonsense area set up where we can muck about. Nonsense. So we need to alter this. It's not, does array 2 include array 1 array 1 squared? What we need is, does array 2 have any values that aren't squares of array 1. Does array 2 have any, like this here? So, blankety, blankety, where'd it go? So, see, this is great because it's got its handful of arrays. There are more values in B, but that's okay, because all of these values are equal to the ones here in A. Our issue later on is when they don't match up, but more importantly is when there's values that don't tie to them at all. That's what we're looking for. Does array 2 So we should be doing the square root of array 2 and see if it matches with array 1. So really, we want the square root of the array 2 values and see and check if array 1 includes those. Yeah, that. Okay, so now that we've tweaked our logic, now we need the code version of this. So, time to figure out how to get the square root of something. JavaScript, square root. B-d-d-d-d-d-d. Yeah. Math.squirt. Boom. Try that on for size. Math.blah. Math.square root. Function returns square root of a number. Yeah, look at all that. Math.square root. 9 is 3. Cool. 2 is that hideous abomination. 1 is 1. 0 is 0. -1. None. Yeah, right. Good. Golden. So, let's take math square root and well, we're going to get crazy with it. If let's just do a new if statement up here. If hold the phone. This is what our nonsense section is for. If array 2 Nope, bad Steven. Nope, we need our for loop. We're gonna do it up here. Party up top. And technically, even though it will be array 2 something at some point, here, we're actually going to loop through array 2 instead of array 1. So if where does that belong? Array 2 this gets square root. So we want math dot squirt. Yep, square root of that. So if math dot square root blah is equivalent No, hold on. It's not equivalent to shit. What we're looking for is exactly this again. If array, we're hunting for this. We are hunting for the square root of array 2 at whatever spot value index in that array. But this, we're reversing it. Array 1 dot includes math dot square root. Yeah. Some of that. Okay, so let's copy this noise. Cut that. Boom. So the outer parentheses, I think everything's fine. The outer parentheses are there. The other parentheses for includes are here, and the inner ones for array, followed by the brackets for that. I think we're all set. Get rid of that for. I think we're good. I think we may actually live to see another day. Here's this, commenting out because we can. Instructions. Let's try running that once more. Run sample test. Initial green. Check mark for our sample test. That's cool. That's what we got last time. But more importantly is the actual attempt. Okay. I think there's more green this time. It seems like there's a lot more green and only the occasional red. Cannot read property length. Your mother can't read. So what would I do if we can't read the property dot length? If array one, you know what? Maybe it's the fact that we are returning stuff in here. If we find one, we don't want to return it. At least not yet. So what do we need to do? If blank. Well, what do we do? For blah, blah, blah. It's the return, because when this is true, it will return true. Otherwise, it should return false. So that's what it's this. I think our logic is still fine. This little bit of code, I think, actually gets the job done. We do need to deal with the empty arrays eventually. But we need to get this out of here. How do we do that? If blankety blankety blank do we I don't know. I don't know. If array 1 includes... No. Math square root. If array 1 includes... What if it doesn't include that? We need one for the values that it doesn't have. I keep... like this. Returns false because it doesn't have 132 in B. See, these are the same. 121. And all that noise is cool. It's 11 times 11, blah, blah, blah. Now we're to invalid arrays. It doesn't like this one because 132 doesn't belong. Same song and dance down here should be 361. They've modified it to be 36,100. So we still need to tweak our logic just a bit. We went from here to this. We also need to address the empty or null cases for A and B when they're both empty. That's a minor thing, But right now it's the return inside of the for loop that I gotta fix. Hey, Langley! Cool! How you doing, Langley? Perhaps a new array and push the results, true or false, into that. Actually, you know you can return false straight away when it's wrong. However, if it's true, you can just carry on. And the last line of the function is return true, is you can only have go outside the loop by succeed. So maybe that's our issue. Maybe we just leave it blank. Return true. That would make sense. Return true. So if this, don't worry about it, nothing needs to happen, else return false. So it'll only die when it needs to die, and in the meantime it will keep returning true. Okay, alright. That solves my true issue. If, aha, way more green, but there's still the tiniest bit of concern. Why is there a failed error? What's the issue now? Type error. Can't read property length of null. Oh, this is that empty array issue. This is our else if. Right. Sack of death. Langley, you were guiding us so close. It has to do with this bit. Again, to highlight, there can't be a length on a null item. That's regarding the fine print down here under their remarks. A or B might be an empty array. It may not be 121 and 141, 19, so forth and such with all these lovely values. It could in fact be an empty A and an empty B, and regardless of whether one or the other is empty or both are empty, it should return false. But I need to put that in here somehow. Else, think it through, Stephen. What would Langley do? You know, that's a great question to ask oneself when pondering life's difficult choices. We could do something if array 1 equals null, or array 2 equals null. Also return false. Maybe shot in the dark? I don't even know. That seems all kinds of strange, right? Yeah, let's get weird. Let's do that. Run test sample. Okay, still green there, and sack of death. I really thought we were gonna pull that off. It's the length thing. Oh, you're right. Langley, you're so right. I need to have the if. If it's got... you're clever. You salty dog, Langley. You and your words of wisdom. I can hear you in my head. Put the if before the for. If it's not null, then we can run all this crap. Otherwise, it'll just go to false immediately. Good eye, Langley. Good eye. We like your style. But now, if I have the mental capacity to properly structure this, I need to take our else if bit. Yeah, if that, return false, else, copy. Yeah, look at this. One of those, else, ka-freaking boom. Da da dee 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 la da da dee 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 da dee 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 la da da dee 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 dee. Is that gonna work? If array 1 is null or array 2 is null, return false, and if they're both null, that still checks out. Otherwise, else, for blah blah blah, and then if it's that, it will skip over all this noise and return true. Else, we can get rid of the else if. Yes. Good. We might even be able to get rid of our nonsense section in a moment. Run test sample. Good, and attempt. Oh, cold-hearted bitch. Why is it red? Just one red line. How could it pass so many successful tests and still have a stupid thingy attached to it? Gutted. Well, damn. I should still probably get rid of the nonsense area. What to do? So very close, yet so far away. Expected false. Instead got true. Dum 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 dum. Dum 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 dum. Dum 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 dum. Dum dum dum. Dum 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 dum. Super death. Wait a second. Langley, did you know, chances are no, but I'll keep reading your statement, but did you know you can do console log dot array1 comma array2 and see the contents of the parameters? CODEWARS allows that. Fascinating. Where can I implement that? I guess just return false? Where would I put the console log to see this one? Expected false instead true. You know? Maybe. Do I just put the whole damn thing into a console log? Because they've got the test cases there. Maybe we'll be fine. Let's do function enter console.log array 1 and 2. Guess we can just put them at the top. Oh, you can just put them at line. Okay, awesome. I didn't know if we were trying to do that at a particular point to return whatever data was trickling through the if statement or whatever stuff was passing through the for loop, but just out of the gates. Okay, console log array 1 and 2. Noted. Run sample. Hey, cool, you're right. Oh, Langley with all kinds of tips and tricks. Look at that. God, to think I've gone through so many frickin' katas without doing that. Okay, so attempt. Two, two, and 3. It expected false and instead got true because they're a bunch of lying bitches. Interest. Wait a sec. Why the hell does that matter? Because that should be fine. Why wouldn't that should be true? By their standards, I can see why they're frustrated, but technically, by the instructions they provided us, the total number of answers in array compared to the parameters going in shouldn't be, unless it's a one-way street. Maybe it needs to be greater than. Maybe the number of B's has to be greater than the number of A's. Because that would be the difference. See, here, with 2 2s, that means there should be 2 4s, and theoretically 1 9. What they would be okay with, we'll type it out over here. So, currently, copy that. We'll even drop it down. We'll call this A, B. See, they want, at a minimum, 4 and 2 2 3 should be 4 4 9 in their eyes. They would also be okay with 4 4 and 9 9. But if they're okay with multiple 3s, and they'd also be fine, at least I think they'd be fine with an individual one. I don't know why they wouldn't like 2 3s with 1 4. It's that last little bit, and I swear, I think they're confused. I know I'm confused. I've been confused for the last 260 plus days, so I'm intimately familiar with the sensation. And I think they put in a wrong one. Unless the output merely needs to be equal, but, you know, greater than. For some, not literally greater than, but some type of thing similar to that, where they're cool with the same number of answers, but not less than. They're fine with more, but they don't like less. That's the moral of the story. So they're fine with more, but they don't like less. Well, that's dumb. I guess that comes down to the note for C. The 2 arrays have the same size. Greater than 0? No. Maybe not. Again, we're dealing with JavaScript, but as far as the logic goes, I was wondering, it seems like that would be the only comparable area in regards to this test. What would I change? I guess it needs to... I feel like that's just going to require a shit ton more code. Having to set up the multiple empty arrays, dumping out, pushing the values of array 1 and array 2, making sure array 2 has more than 8. No. See, no. Wrong. How could there be this many random tests that pass compared to their last stupid one. I'm sure it's my fault. It probably checks out, but I just don't like that. Theoretically, this is accurate. In my mind, it's accurate. It shouldn't be, but I'd count it. Let's get rid of that. Bastards. Alright, well, at least we found this, so the console log thing is cool. Thank you for that tip, Langley. Honestly, I feel like we're just going to need to Google it. I don't even have the mental capacity to try and figure out what the hell is needed to pull that. I guess it would be part of the if statement. Langley, I believe you need one more line of code. Oh, frack. If you've got an idea or recommendation, but I got nothing. If blank blank A values need to be greater than B? No. Dumb idea. So what's specifically wrong with this? It's the fact that there are more... It's not that there's more values. It's not that there's more values. No, it's not that there's more squares in B. It's fine that there's one A and there's two Bs. The issue is that there are less Bs than there are A's, meaning there's more square roots than there are squares. There's a shortage of squares. So we need to have more squares equal to or greater than, right? At line 11, now that you know that this value is in array 1, why don't you just remove it as you can use it again? Hold on. Line 11. I believe in you. Wait, I believe you need one more line of code. At line 11. Now that you know that this value is in array 1, why don't you just remove it as you can use it again? 223 and 499. Square of 9 is 3. You find 3, then just remove it from the first array. That's when the second 9 occurs. It won't find 3 and will return false. Hold on. Whoa, wait. I totally believe you're right. Let me just process that once more. I'm slow. Okay. We've got 223. Yeah, we've got 223. Good. And 499. The square of 9 is 3. Well, the square root of 9 is 3, yeah. You find 3. Okay, so we've found 3 here. Yes. We've hunted down 3. Then just remove it from the first array. That's when the second 9 occurs. It won't find 3. Oh! It's going to keep hunting for 3s. But once we find a 3, we tell it to go to hell, and it only has one of them. So this, in reality, will return, once we remove it, only 4 and 9. Interesting, instead of 4, 9, 9. Because once we remove it, it's just those two, and since it's missing this guy, everything gets to die. Very nice. Very cool. What a great idea. So I should do that with the if. If it finds something, remove it. How do I remove... Pop? Remove something from an array. JavaScript. Remove element? Remove from array. Pop or shift is the last one. Either delete. How do I remove a particular element? There's got to be some cool trick. Yeah, nah, splice those bastards. I mean, splice works, it's all nice and fun and good times, but let's... We'll remove it from array 1. No, yeah, I got you from array... No, I was talking about the secondary effect. See, look, I should have copied both, but yes, I follow Langley. I follow, see, right here. Don't mind the craziness. When this goes from blah, and we'll set it up nice and thorough. A, yeah, woohoo, arrays. Good. B equals stuff and such. So, we're going through array 1 includes math and square root and blah, blah, blah. Basically, what's coming in here is one of these numbers. It goes 4, and it's finding the square root. And it spits out a 2, right? Which is fine and dandy. So the issue, though, is when we come across the 3... when we come across the 9, here, it generates a 3 in its nightmare, and it continues on partying, right? So then we have another 9 here, and since the 3's sitting there, it's okaying it. So it's saying it's cool to have 2 9s. The issue you're saying, or the solution you came up with, is when we have 9 and it sees the 3, from there, we want the 3 to die afterwards, post this 9, and then, ta-da, this one can't happen, right? Beautiful. But now what we're trying to do is track down how to remove that 3, 9, and so forth, and stuff and such. So we follow. Fantastic advice. Just where to put remove, really? Is it that straightforward? Bullshit. There's not a remove. There's a push and a pop and a reduce and a reverse, but there's no move. Filter. Find entries. I don't like any of those. Blah, blah, blah. I guess we could use splice. I feel like that would take more tinkering. I think we should be able to just pull it off. Push? No, not push. I have an array of integers. I'm using push method to add. Is there a simple way to remove a specific something like dot remove? I have to use core JavaScript. No frameworks. Index of 5. Index splice. Index 1. Well, I guess that would work. We find the index of it, and we tell it to kill that index. Fair enough. The second parameter of splice, note that splice modifies the array in place and returns a new array, blankety blank. Yeah, we can do that. We can do that. I to 1. I don't know if you're expecting how you're expecting it to behave, but there are 3 possibilities. To remove an element in an array index I, you want to remove the element with a value. Delete array I. If you want to just make an element at index I no longer exists, seems kind of final. I don't know if I want to delete stuff. Or filter. Filter out the 3. Filter items not equal to 3. No. Just stick with the basic one. I like this plan. Let's try splice, shall we? Splicing. The first one, 2 starts at 1, 0, 1, 2, -1, and insert something. So we want... Technically, we don't need anything in there, right? At 0, delete 2. We want it to be at 5. We want it to remove that index, the 1. So it would be index of 1. Splice, index of 1. That's what it is. We got it. Don't mind me. Copy. Yeah, just deal with the copy. Not my fish, but array 1 splice array 1 dot index of I delete 1. Does that work? Index array 1 index of I. Do I need to have array 1 again and this in brackets? That seems needlessly repetitive. Array 1, array 1, array 1. We've already got array 1 index of... I think index of I would be fine. Let's run it. We're this far down the rabbit hole. Might as well keep going, right? Guys, we pissed someone off. Sack of death. Running it anyways. Yeah, they're... Aha! But the last one, we passed. Deal with it. Expected true instead got false. Typical. Those slimy bastards. Maybe it needs to happen somewhere else. It did that, though. Else if... Langley. 223,499. The square of 9 is 3. When you find 3, then just remove it from the first array. When the second 9 occurs, it won't find it and it will return false. If array 1 includes math, square root, array 2i, we'll splice array 1 from the index of blank, maybe just I. Still no. Ah, that's false. That's interesting. Maybe that should be a bracket. It's interesting to see the different results per each one. Huh. Interesting. What to do? Index of. Oh. Interesting. Includes array 1 splice index of math dot square root 2 fascinating. Never would have guessed that in a million years. Index of array 1 splice array 1 index of math dot square root array. Yeah. Run that. Damn, Langley, you are good. Whew. Quick in the dead, man. You got your stuff on lock, Langley. That is impressive. Holy hell. Langley, you are... That is... We're speechless. That is impressive. Hot damn. Well, look at that. Success across the board with a large helping hand from Langley, especially towards the end. Heavily guiding us on the right path. Great, you may take your time to refactor and blah, blah, blah. Way cool. Oh, so cool. So, once more, as we sort of graze through all of this, we can actually get rid of the console log bit. Although handy and fun, not essential for a final submission. We'll do run test, beautiful, final attempt. Okay, so there's that. Green checks. Good times. All that fun across the board. Langley UK, well done. I heard you earlier. You were right. You could have used .every. Damn, really? Oh, it just... I know it did everything, or it looks at every index in an array, and I thought that seemed excessive. Let's go ahead and check out... Actually, let's close some of this. And you sent a link as well. So let's check that out before we close out of this stream. We want Twitch, dashboard. Don't mind the man behind the curtain. We're just doing our stuff. Tracking down the link. Alright. Paste bin. Beautiful, beautiful. Close out of that noise. Function. Comp array 1, 2 if Array 1 is null or array 2 return false. Nice. And then return array 2 every clever item. Array 1 includes math.square root item and array 1 splice, array 1 index of math square root item 1. So much more concise than my code. But nevertheless, we still made it to the end. We still made it. Way cool. Let's go ahead and submit our final and see what the cool kids had to submit for their answers as well. We've got if array. I'm surprised that I was able to come up with the if statement. That is so fascinating. Especially that that's used in the first answer. Who would have known? If array null, if array 1 equals null or array 2 equals null, return false. Sort. Lots of sorting and mapping. Mapping's cool. We haven't mapped in a while. Let. Yeah, we still need to get on the let train. We're still using all variables for most of our stuff. Array is blank. Array is blah. This is somewhat closer to what we did. Constant. I need to use constant more too. Hey, this is pretty close to Langley's. Slightly different, but, you know, the general vibe is there. I'm trying to find one that's similar to ours. I guess this is needlessly long, which is kind of like ours. When I look at it, I sort of feel sad. This is close to what we got going on right here. This is nearly identical to us, so that's... we'll leave it highlighted. Oh my god, way too much highlighting. First, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. Yeah, we're definitely a 7th place kind of guy. Alright, well, good times. Many ways to skin this cat. I'm glad with the solution we came up with. Very similar to this one. Let's go ahead and look at our profile as we back out and close out for day 264. We are currently 97.4% of the way through level 6. So close to level 5 here at Code Wars. Just on the edge. Probably, again, another 1 or 2 katas, and we will be able to break through into that next level. Thank you again to anyone and everyone who stopped by to view the stream and or assist. Today we had Langley UK, who helped out a fair amount with tips, tricks, and guidance that we greatly, greatly appreciated. In the meantime, we are backing out of Code Wars into OBS, ready to stop the stream. The adventure continues tomorrow with day 265. In the meantime, are you sure you want to stop the stream? Hell yeah. Kill it!